Hey everybody, welcome back. Craig Shoup here with Bob Garver, our film critic from New York City. Bob is back. We are talking movies. It's been a little bit of time here in between, Bob, but it's always good to see you and talk movies. How are you been?
I've been great. August was a really slow month for movies other than Weapons, so it took a while for there to be some movies worth talking about, but we got there.
Okay, well, we have 9 movies to start off with here as we get back at it. You are going to be talking about each one of them in a ranking system here of worst to best. I will leave the floor to you. Let's get started.
Okay, there are four tiers I want to go through. The first is the C minus tier.
Okay.
These are movies that I pretty strongly don't recommend. And First movie is Freakier Friday. This movie is obviously a follow up to the 2003 hit that I had a lot of fun watching with my mom and my nieces one time. But This new one has Lindsay Lohan all grown up with a daughter of her own, and there's even a possible new stepdaughter in the mix. Um, and She and her mother, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, and the two teenagers all switch bodies, and lots of wacky hijinks ensue. But I never found any of the hijinks funny. I'm sorry, I couldn't. So many of them, first of all, are female centric, which I don't think was really an issue with the first movie. Even though it was two females, I thought those were. I thought those had a lot of universal appeal. This one just seemed to appeal to women,
Okay.
so I couldn't get into any of these gags. I'm sorry, but I had to give this one a C minus, even though I can tell there's an effort on screen, but just nothing was appealing to me or clicking with me at all.
Right. Okay.
So that one's a C minus. Um, then there's a new Demon Slayer movie, which is based on a popular anime franchise. Um, this franchise comes out with a new theatrical movie about once every 2 years,
Okay.
and in between there's, I believe, a lot of television, which is where most of this series plays out. The problem is I don't keep up with this series, so I didn't know who the vast majority of these characters were, and I couldn't follow it. And it's also 2.5 hours long, um, and the only screening I could get to was at 2:30 in the morning.
Wow.
So by the time all was said and done, it was 5:30 in the morning. So I was kind of banging my head against my seat by the time this thing was over. It's ambitious as far as its animation and all of its fighting sequences, but I couldn't get into this one. Fans of the series, by all means, see this and enjoy it, but I can't.
Man,
I'm
made a
afraid.
lot of money too.
Yes, yes. Two of the movies we're talking about are going to be in the top five September openings of all time,
Yeah.
and it's one of them. It opened in the number five position in September openings of all time.
Right.
Moving up to the C tier, there's The Roses with Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman. This is about a remake of a film from, I believe, the 80s
Hmm.
that had Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner, I believe it was. It's about a couple that, starts out wildly in love and eventually um, their relationship falls apart and they end up violently feuding with one another. And Cumberbatch and Coleman do have really good chemistry, and any gags that revolve around them saying things to each other, if that makes sense, are really good.
Yeah.
But the problem is that the movie doesn't do perfunctory gags very well. Gags that are required to move the plot along, such as the collapsing of a building that Cumberbatch designs. Just anything that requires a visual component, the movie doesn't do very well.
Okay.
so I couldn't go higher than a C on this one. But those are the only three of the six that I don't recommend. Everything else I recommend at least a little on this show.
Okay.
So then we move up to The Long Walk. This is an adaptation of a Stephen King book. And it's in a genre I really like, which is like elimination deathmatch games.
Mhm.
So you can see a lot of like the Hunger Games or Squid Game
Right.
in this movie, but it's about a group of 50 young men, each representing a state, um, who have to uh, go on a seemingly endless walk where they have to maintain a speed of at least 3 miles an hour. Um, those who lag behind get shot
Okay.
until one of them is eventually left standing. I think it ultimately encompasses over 300 miles that these kids do this long walk. But the characters are compelling, and the dialogue is snappy. Um, it's obviously very bleak and depressing in parts, but overall, it's exciting and it's worth recommending. So I
Okay.
gave this one a B minus. Um, Up next is Nobody 2, a sequel to a Bob Odenkirk movie from 2021. Um, this one benefited from me seeing it right after Freaky Friday,
Okay.
and so it was enough of an upgrade that I was able to recommend it. Even though if I had seen this under by itself, I probably wouldn't have liked it as much. But relative to Freaky Friday, I got something out of it.
Yeah.
But Bob Odenkirk takes his family on vacation, and it turns out that oh yeah, Bob Odenkirk returns to his assassin character from the first movie, and he takes his family on vacation. He just wants to enjoy this small town that they travel to, but the small town turns out to be a haven for criminal activity, and he gets sucked into all this criminal activity where he has to shut down an international cartel just because they can't leave him alone in the small town. But it has enough funny scenes, not a lot of great scenes, but enough funny scenes that I was able to recommend it. So I gave that one a B minus.
Okay.
Up next, a film from a director I know you and I like to talk about a lot is Darren Aronofsky
Yeah.
in his new movie Caught Stealing. This movie stars Austin Butler as a washed-out baseball player who can't get his life together, and suddenly he finds himself in the middle of a crime thriller where he needs to face his demons both in the recent and distant past as he fights off various criminal elements. Um, this one is kind of a departure for Aronofsky. It's a lot less ambitious than
Hmm.
what he usually does. A lot more straightforward.
Right.
Yes, I should say. A lot less emotion, a lot more dialogue driven than what he usually does. But I liked it well enough to give it a B minus, even
Okay.
though it's not as compelling as a lot of his other work. Moving up to the other movie that is one of the top 5 openers in all of September history, and this one is in the number 2 position in September box office openings. That is The Conjuring: Last Rites. Um, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are back as Ed and Lorraine Warren, paranormal investigators, and they go on an adventure with a Pennsylvania family that's being haunted by a mirror that's haunted. But there's a lot more emphasis on the Wilson and Farmiga characters this time, which I think is a really good idea for these movies. They've always been the most compelling parts of these movies, and there's a lot of emphasis on them as characters because all the haunting stuff is just a retread of a lot of stuff they've done in the past.
Yeah.
Um, then moving up to a movie that only played for one weekend because it was a just special event movie, um, and that is K-pop Demon Hunters. This is an animated movie from the people at Sony behind the Spider-Verse movies, and this is about a K-pop band who moonlight as warriors against demons. So this is not a good time to be a demon in an Asian country between this and Demon Slayer. But the movie has created three compelling characters and even some compelling villains. And there's a fun dynamic involving the characters and their interactions with each other. I didn't always go for the stuff where they actually fought the demons, but I like the characters, and of course there is music in this movie. A lot of it's shooting for the Oscar, apparently, which I'm sure is going to make for some fun performances at the Oscars if they allow these songs to be performed.
Right.
But I had some fun with this one. I can't say I'm really as pulled into it as a lot of people are because apparently this movie is a huge hit on Netflix. And I'll follow the series as much as I need to, but I probably won't watch like a TV series if the follow up to this is a TV series.
Right.
And that takes me up to the B tier, the best movie of the past month or so, and that is a horror movie called Together, which stars Dave Franco and Allison Brie. They're a real life couple, and they have great chemistry with one another.
Yeah.
And this movie is about a couple that gets trapped in a cave briefly, where they're subject to a magic curse, and once they get out of the cave, they start to find themselves physically attracted to one another. And I don't mean in terms of love, I mean in terms of melding together physically. And that leads to some harrowing situations where their bodies start fusing together. And by the time the movie is over, we get into some of the best body horror that I've seen in a long time. And the film has some very memorable, very funny scenes. But it builds to a climax that is really funny and really intense and really scary and really gross, but ultimately very rewarding.
Well, body horror seems to be in. Obviously, The Substance did very well last year and really kind of burst onto the scene last fall. And here we have Together. So a lot of good movies. I'm glad you had fun at the movies. Most of the movies you enjoyed. So that's always good to hear. Obviously, we're still in the strange release schedule of movies. August and September, not always the best release dates for movies, although we are on the heels of the Toronto International Film Festival. So the fall lineup is starting to kind of play its chess pieces a little bit. What do you have coming up on the horizon, though, Bob?
Well, coming up, I have Him, and I'm really looking forward to that one. That's the one with Marlon Wayans as a trainer for a young football player who obviously has some very unconventional methods, and it looks kind of like a male version of The Substance, which, given how much I like The Substance, is not a bad thing.
Absolutely. Well, sounds great. Well, I think we will talk again very soon. We always appreciate you stopping by, and we hope you have fun at the movies.
Well, thank you very much. This is the highlight of my week.